Hi, today on Beyond the Seat, we're privileged to have a supermom, a creator, a thought leader, and an entrepreneur.
If you told Yvonne from 7 years ago that this is what I'm doing, like to eat, I'd say, shut up. You say there's a formula to skin, it's not random. But one thing about me is I set zero expectations, so that when I fail, that's what I expected. So I'm fine with it.
The brains behind Beauty Square and Sage Skin. Ladies and gentlemen, Yvonne Kanyi. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very well. Right off the bat, what's your favorite wig?
I love curly textures. I want something that looks like it to grow out of my head. So I really like the big curly units, and the longer the better.
The longer the better.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to do something totally opposite from that.
Okay.
But I'm hoping you like it.
Okay. Different is good.
Yeah.
Different is good. Yeah.
So we're gonna do a bob.
Okay.
Have you ever done a bob before?
No, but my hair was cut into a bob like
How long is your hair?
many years ago. I'm not sure. I'd say like way past the shoulders for sure.
That's technically a bob.
Like mid back.
Oh, way back.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
16 inch?
No, maybe a bit higher.
18.
No, like
Oh, like
my
shorter.
back. Yeah.
Um,
No, it's definitely longer
14?
than that. Okay, yeah, it's 16.
It's 16, yeah.
Yeah.
That's long. That's pretty long.
Yeah.
Do you wear wigs? Often. I know you do wear wigs,
not
but
often. For me, the issue is I don't like to keep them on for too long, and I feel like I've not found a good unit that I can just throw on without having to be installed.
do you have like closure wigs? Because I know headband wigs are easier to maintain, easier to
Yeah,
wear.
easier to wear. I definitely would love a good wig for like day to day that is glueless. Yeah, for me that's the issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a glueless one right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold for me. I want you to
Hold.
see, yes, and then pull forward.
Sorry. Wow, this feels like it was measured for my head.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it fit?
It feels good.
Snug or
Yeah.
too tight? Because
No,
I don't want
snug.
it too
Snug
too
for
tight.
sure. Yeah. Ooh,
What do you think
okay.
about the length?
It's a new personality. Call me Cleopatra.
Okay. For people who don't know me, who is Yvonne?
Who am I? I always have a hard time answering this question. I am a mom. We need to deconstruct. Why do women always introduce themselves like that and men don't?
Something good. Being a mom, you literally brought life
Into this world, yeah. But I feel like it really takes over identity. But anyway, yes, I'm a mom to one. I am also an entrepreneur. I am a content creator. I am someone who just loves yapping on the internet and is passionate about skin and business and just living my best life, basically. Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
Just listening to you introducing yourself, you wear so many hats.
Yeah.
What keeps you grounded? Because being a mom, an entrepreneur, a content creator, you're pulled in so many different directions.
Yeah.
What helps you stay grounded, or basically what is your motto in life?
I think something that I have been adopting lately is just doing the things that make me happy. And make me feel fulfilled. I think also just having an impact on other people also for me is important. So for me, yes, I do wear many hats, but they're all important to me and part of me feeling good. Yeah.
And as a mom and a business owner, how do you juggle the two?
I don't juggle. There's no such thing as balance. Sometimes some people suffer and other people suffer. Yeah, that's just what I say. I found when you try to quote a quote balance, like you'll never really find a balance. You find that you put so much pressure on yourself, and then what suffers is time with yourself. So you schedule time for the child, schedule time for business, but then now you start losing yourself in between. Yeah, so I just realized some weeks I'll be a better mom, some weeks I'll be a better CEO, not as great of a mom, and that's fine. Yeah.
And going back to you being a CEO of 2 businesses now, or you have others?
For now, it's true. Yeah.
How has it been? How has the journey been for you? Like building, I know BT Square came first, building it from ground up
Yeah.
to where it is right now.
It's been a long, interesting journey, but sometimes I still feel like we're still in day one because you've been in the business this whole time. It's very easy to stay delusional about where you're at. So I can be somewhere and someone will recognize me and say, "We just come." I'm like, "Oh, you know about me? It's not just me. It's about me." Or like when Brenda was doing my makeup and she mentioned, my brand, I was like, "Oh, okay." It's crazy to see it grow beyond you yourself. Yeah. Now with Sage, that's been an interesting journey because it's not been linear. When I first moved to Kenya, that's a business I wanted to start. But then I came here and then Beauty Square just took over my life.
You were moving from
The US to Kenya. Beauty Square took over my life for 4 or 5 years. And then Sage finally came into the picture. So we actually started doing facials in Beauty Square, but in the back room. There's like a room in the back with no space. So I said, no, let me start doing facials here because I keep saying I'll start this business, and I'm nowhere near close to starting. So it was me taking one small step, and every time somebody would make a booking, I'd still be so surprised. I'm like, why are you coming here?
in my tiny space.
Yeah, and they would keep rebooking, and I used to feel a bit embarrassed because the space was not glamorous. It was just basic. And like the Beauty Square, the front, it's nice. We thought through the interior, we spent quite a bit of money making it look nice. But you come to this space and it's just basic. But I'm really grateful for our customers who supported us and saw the vision, and now we've been able to move now into like a nice vibey space. But it's been beautiful to see it come alive and now have people who are employed there and rely on me for their rent for some crazy reason. Yeah.
Take me back to Beauty Square when you were starting.
Yeah.
When did you start? How did the idea come about?
So it started as a side hustle. When I was living abroad, I noticed that there was a gap in the market. And I decided, okay, this can be a nice income stream, like a side income stream. I never thought which is going to be my full-time business. If you told Yvonne from 7 years ago that this is what I'd be doing, like to eat, I'd say, shut up. Like, no way. So I used to do custom orders. Like, people would send me what they want me to get them from the US, and then I would send them in. That business didn't do very well. I'd say one, because I didn't really put any effort in it. Secondly, I wouldn't take deposits from people. So I'd buy something, I'd send it to Kenya, and then they don't pay. Like they say maybe I don't have money or I didn't order or just other things. So it didn't do so well.
Came up.
Yeah, exactly. But also I was not very consistent. I was also not very efficient. I don't know why I used to drive to the stores to buy the things instead of ordering them online. But then around the time I was also struggling with my skin myself. So I had pretty bad acne and hyperpigmentation. And when I started to learn and understand, how the skin works and what products work, because it's these are formula, like you say, there's a formula to skin. It's not random, because I feel like skincare is made to feel a bit difficult. Like you need some kind of special understanding to unlock how to treat acne or all these things. But there's actually a formula. Like these ingredients are good for acne, these for dark spots, etc. So as I started learning and I applied it on myself, I was like, okay, do people know it's like this? It's not you just take whatever recommendations.
So when you're learning, is it you teaching yourself or actually going to school?
Me and Twitter. Back then there was something called black skin Twitter. Is that what it was called? I'm forgetting. There's a lot of black estheticians based in the US who are really active on Twitter at the time. Like Cave of Beauty, Makeup for Women of Color, like a few of black estheticians who are really active on that and were actually talking about this is how you actually treat your skin. Because I feel like for a long time, skincare has just been like, oh, look at this product, my skin glow. But that's the end of the story. It's not, this is for you if ABCDFG,
it's not
or how to
educational
use it. It's not educational, so then you don't really know what to do. So they were doing that and I started applying it. I also went to see one of them. Her name is Cave of Beauty. She's actually a Kenyan. Cave of Beauty. She's actually a Kenyan, but she's based in New York. So I went to see her for a facial, and I feel like the way she explained it to me and just the whole session was like, okay, I feel like I want to do this for a living. So I started sharing about that stuff online, on Instagram. We used to do a lot of lives and just creating educational content. and that's how the business started to grow. So now obviously people are asking, okay, so these are the products you're seeing, so sell them. So I started now selling things a bit more consistently. Although it was not until like I lost a big chunk of my income. Then I was like, okay, maybe I can replace it with Beauty Square. And when I started taking it a lot more seriously, I noticed, okay, actually I could replace my income. Yeah, and things just went on from there. But then when I moved back to Kenya, things just kind of exploded. I still remember going to my shop for the first time, and then I think waking up the first day, and I was like, all I have to do today is Beauty Square. Like, in a very long time, I'd never just had one thing, because even though I was running Beauty Square, I was also in uni. At some point, I was also in aesthetic school as well, studying to become an esthetician. I also had a job. At the time, I had 2 jobs. So it just like felt so strange, like all of my time is just going to this business. But this is why I think the focus was also a big reason for, I guess, being able to grow. Yeah.
So you open a store, and were your previous clientele coming, or this was just
Yes.
like a new market you're exploring and new people?
Previous clientele coming, but even just new people coming. You know, some people have how do I put it? Like they want to come and see physically, and I think because I was such a huge face of the brand back then, people are like, okay, you're here physically, I would love to come and you consult me yourself. Because even then, like our consultants were not really like as trained as we do now. So yeah, definitely think those are some of the reasons that it kind of like picked up. Yeah.
Interesting. So how many years have you been doing skincare, or have you been in the business?
So I guess now it's like roughly 6 years. Although I like to say seriously, like 4 years. Not
The
4 years.
first 2 are just like testing the
Trial,
water.
yeah, trial, yeah.
And
yeah.
what can you say about your journey? Has
think
it been easier? What are the challenges you
easy.
face?
I think business is just a continuation of solving problems. They have been good moments for sure, but I think you're always definitely facing some kind of challenge. But I think one thing about it is it's rewarding, especially the industry that we're in. You know how someone looks really affects how they feel and how they function. So to see somebody go from feeling like really bad about themselves and not being confident to they speak a bit louder, they walk with their shoulders even a bit higher. You can just tell they seem like a different person is really rewarding, or just helping somebody solve a problem that they felt like, okay, this is my life now forever. Because I'd definitely been at that point when I had the really bad acne and hyperpigmentation. I remember going to Sephora and be like, okay, I guess the rest of my life now is applying makeup. Become that person. It lasted like 2 days. Like I can't do this. Yeah, I think that's what makes all the troubles worthwhile, and then just also the team as well. Because now as the business grows, I had 1 employee at one point. I can't even imagine. To now you have many people, and I'd say most, if not everyone who works for me actually loves their job and like what they do. So it's also rewarding to like be in that space where you're nurturing somebody else's skill or talent or passions.
And then I have this belief, and correct me if I'm wrong, that I feel skincare, like good skin, is hereditary. Is that true?
No.
It is not?
It's not true. In as much as genes do play a role when it comes to skin, so you might be more predisposed to certain skin issues, but there's some things that can be happening in your life, in your body, that can cause skin issues. And everyone around you didn't have any skin issues, but now you do. So in my family, my mom, I don't think has ever had acne. My dad's skin is also pretty okay. It's not very problematic. But my brother had really bad acne. But aside from him, I can't think of anyone else who has skin issues. So no, good skin is not hereditary. You can actually nurture your skin to be
good.
Yeah.
And is it expensive to maintain? Because also another thing that I've had people say is that you can get good skin, but you're sort of like hooked to that routine. You deviate and you go back to how you are?
Yeah. An analogy I like to use is if your car does not have fuel, can it surely move? It can't. So people create this incorrect assumption or correlation that, when you stop the skincare, your skin becomes bad, so it's the skincare. But really, it's the skincare that was helping your skin. So when you stop using it, obviously your skin won't be benefiting. Because it's not like when you apply the serum, it's stored in your skin forever and then you'd never have to use it again. So you have to use them to experience the benefits. However, I will say that there are products for different budget ranges. So just because, Clinique has a really nice moisturizer for 7K doesn't mean you can never have a nice moisturizer. There are others that might be around, a better price range for you, maybe like 2K or something like that. So I definitely think that the skincare within affordable-ish ranges, I still think we have a bit more to go in terms of making it even more affordable. But I think also because the reason a lot of skincare here is a bit more expensive is because there are other expenses that we incur to make them available here. Obviously, shipping and taxes. So if you are buying it abroad, it would be cheaper for sure. So yeah, I'd say that's it. But definitely people should not feel like it's completely out of their access. You can build a good routine for like 4K. Yes. And they'll last you like 3 months.
Do you think a good routine can go below the 4,000? Because again, looking at our country, 4,000 is a lot to some people. So do you think someone with a very little budget to work with can have a proper skin routine?
Yes, I still think you can. You can.
Can it be like one product, or it has to be multiple products?
No.
It cannot be what?
Everyone, it can't. It's like the same way to do my makeup. She did like an eye pencil, a foundation. So at the bare minimum, you need 3: a cleanser, moisturizer, and sunscreen. That's it. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, below 3 or 4K might be tricky.
Might be cheeky.
Yeah.
But let's say I want to start. I haven't been taking my skincare. Taking my skincare or my skin prep as important. What's out of the 3 that you've mentioned, which is the most important?
All of them.
Wow. There's no winning.
Nope. Because they all have a different function. It's like the same I'm saying with the makeup. Like, she couldn't just only use one product. Because you need something to highlight the brows, something for all over the skin. So a cleanser is just to make sure that your skin is being cleansed well every single day. And then the moisturizer is just to replenish now your skin after you have cleansed it. And then sunscreen to protect from the sun. So really, they all have a really important role to play. Yeah.
Okay. And there's some people who do who make their own products at home. Is that advisable?
No,
It is.
I'm not for it. Because cosmetics chemistry is a whole field that people have to study for years. So you can't exactly certify yourself on YouTube because there's some things you have to think about, like preservative systems, like what's going to keep this formula stable. Are you doing quality control? Do you have a lab to do quality control, or check the formula to see if it's good in your kitchen? So for me, the issues are that, because okay, fine, it'll work fine day 1, day 2, day 3, but then maybe it doesn't have any preservatives, and you might have used some ingredients that maybe are not stable in the formula, and then now it degrades or it's not working okay anymore. So I'm not really a fan of the DIY. Yeah.
And how important is consistency when it comes to a routine? Like once you pick a routine, there's no stopping, or is it for life, or there's a certain time you can take a break and then go back?
So those 3 basics, there's no stopping.
That's a lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, not to say your skin will fall off if you stop, but you just will stop experiencing the benefits. But then all the rest are always dependent on your concerns and your goals. So like if I have acne and maybe you are trying to target anti-aging, we'll use different things. So once my acne clears, depending, I can reduce the products I'm using for acne or maybe even completely stop. But now for you, in your case, if you're doing anti-aging, then because your body will continue to age, you have to keep doing the anti-aging efforts. Exactly. So it depends. Or if you're treating dark spots and they go away, then now in that case you can stop using the products that were for dark spots. But again, depending. Yeah.
What's the one thing that people always get wrong when it comes to skincare? That's one thing that gives you icks every time you see someone doing or recommending.
It's quite a number. It really gives me the ick when people are doing like a get ready with me video and then they're putting the droppers on their skin.
In the skin.
Yeah. Also, when people assume that it's like a blanket, like the product that worked for you, now you're telling everyone, oh my God, please go use this. It will work well for you, and not including the caveat of, okay, I used this for this purpose. If you have similar concerns, then maybe it might help you. What else? There's so many, but they're just not coming to mind right now. Or really trying to push certain ingredients for everything, like vitamin C. Vitamin C is not the cure for everything. It will not treat acne. In fact, it will make it worse. It can make it worse. Or applying like a blanket to brands. Like if I use a La Roche cleanser and then I say, okay, La Roche doesn't work for me. Or I say La Roche is bad or fake. It's another thing. People saying the products are fake simply because maybe they experienced a reaction or they didn't work well for them. That's another blanket statement that
You don't.
yeah, I don't really like. But for me, one thing I really like to push people to do before they buy their skincare, as you do with other expensive things, is do your research. Do your research and think about it. Because I see so many people misled to buy things they don't need. And if they would have just, told the consultant, okay, thank you for your time. Let me do my research. I will get back to you. Actually, I love the clients who come with a notebook. They have done their research and they're just confirming with me, because even as they use the product, they are more privy to maybe possible reactions or experiences with the product. They might know this product is very thick, so sometimes it tends to peel, or they might know sometimes it can tingle a bit when you apply, versus the one who has no idea. So the smallest thing to them is a red flag. Exactly. So I wish people would just take a bit more time to research. Also, it will be more beneficial for them in the long run. Yeah.
Every time I have someone on my chair, they're always sharing something. At times, I'm usually having maybe a situation or a problem, and then someone comes and sits down and tells me how to deal with it, and I'm like, it's actually very simple. I was making a mountain out of a molehill, yeah. So I was like, what if? And it's also I'm at a point where I'm trying to diversify, to try new things. I'm in the era of putting myself out there. So I was like, it's actually a good concept that when someone comes to my chair and they have something to share, why not share it with everyone? Because at times people share really, really good things. So that's how the concept basically came. And I was like, let me try it.
Yeah.
You're a content creator.
Yeah.
When did you decide to sort of like put yourself out there and start creating?
I feel like I've been a content creator longer than I've been an entrepreneur.
Really?
Actually, when I was 16, I remember telling my brother I want to start a YouTube channel. I've always been so like interested in social media and creating. So I remember back then I used to like film story times that would post nowhere. So just started in my phone. And he told me I would want to, like have a look into your life. There's really nothing interesting that's happening.
Really?
Yeah, so actually I feel like the way Beauty Square was born was through me sharing about stuff on social media, sharing about, but obviously when it was niched down to skin, so just sharing about my skin and all of that. But even then I would do it kind of in a personal way. So the Beauty Square page was actually like my personal page. I didn't really post to my personal page. So I'd wake up in the morning and I'd like film and talk about my skin. This is what I'm doing in my routine. And then with time I realized like I'm itching to talk about other things and I don't have an outlet. So I feel like it's my creative outlet. Yeah, and I like it because I like to yap about things. So now I'm yapping to people who want to listen to what I'm yapping about. Yeah, and also really enjoy connecting with other people. My social media has had me connect with people that normally I might not have had access to or would have never been able to like meet. Yeah.
What keeps you authentic in a space where at least most content creators are not, people don't look at them like authentic people, especially in this country. It's not usually like I really, really trust this
Yeah,
influencer?
creators. I think it comes down to the monetization aspect to it, because a lot of content creators, the way that they earn money is through brand deals and stuff like that. So, and also in like my small stint in doing like brand partnerships, I find that not a lot of brands want you to actually give an authentic, like, perspective of their brand or their product. Like, if you didn't like a product, you're not allowed to see that. And I think from the audience perspective, it might seem to people like, okay, you're just always liking things, and you're never not liking things, or they might think that because you're always giving positive reviews on in like paid partnerships, it seems like you're not authentic. But then there's also that dynamic of, agency and client, like they're not as open to that style of talking about things. And because a lot of creators who maybe are full-time, that's how they pay their rent. So obviously you have to maintain a good relationship with clients, with agencies. So I think that's part of the reason why there's that thing about authenticity. I actually came across a TikTok the other day, and the lady was asking, please share in the comments which creators you actually trust and follow their recommendations, and it was very enlightening. Yeah, but for me, first and foremost, I create content for fun and like as an output, but then also for my businesses to have more visibility and more reach. I have started monetizing it, but for me, it's not my main or only stream of income. So I feel like I have a bit more freedom in terms of who I work with. So, excuse me. I mostly only work with brands that I like. Well, not mostly, actually, only. Only brands that like I like and I actually like the product. And this is something on an ordinary day I would spend my money on. So then I don't mind talking about it. So I think for me that, yeah.
And how important is content creation when it comes to like a business, especially a business that is online?
I think in this day and age, it is very important, because if we are noticing all the CEOs, all the owners are now creating their own personal brands. Like think of Akina Elon, and I think Richard Branson has been doing it for a long time
Yeah, he
though.
has.
Because I feel like it gives your businesses a platform. Because now if I was to wake up and decide, okay, now I'm selling cars, I already have customers. I'm not starting from scratch. And I think people like to see the behind the scenes of the business. That's how they want to be marketed to. They want to see Yvonne wake up, go about her day, do her skincare routine, feed her son. That's how they want to see Beauty Square. And not so much, here's this cleanser, it does this, it's this amount of money. That the direct marketing is not as impactful now. So I think people would like to connect with the people behind the brands, and that helps them maybe understand why certain things happen in their business and how they do things. Sometimes people don't understand or see how meticulous some things have to happen in a business, and they only appreciate it once they see it from that behind the scenes perspective.
The process.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, okay, wow, that's like so thoughtful, and like so much has gone into this. So then I think it helps them be able to make a decision a bit better. Yeah.
So when it comes to community building, you build a community from either social media or your clientele.
Yeah.
How important, or how do you do it that you ensure that you have this community and not only like acquiring a community but also sustaining it? How do you do it, and how important is that?
It? Yeah. I think that the biggest but also smallest thing is talking to them. So like on my socials, I'm pretty big on actually talking to people. So like on stories, I will ask questions, people will respond, and I will do my best to respond. Although Instagram has this annoying thing of hidden requests, and like you don't see them for like 20 years. But I try my best to actually talk to people, because then that's how you connect. And half the time, they will ask me a small question about skin, or like just someone will end up being about Beauty Square or something, and they appreciate my personal input. In as much as they're okay with going to the page and getting a consult there, maybe they just wanted my insight on something small. So I think talking to your community is a big part. But I think also just recognizing them and seeing them. There was a time I was just in the office, and then I saw a website order, and I opened it because I just like to go through and see what people are ordering. And I saw her name. I'm like, this name is so familiar. So I searched it in the in the email, and her orders popped up from like 2021. And I was just like, wow, this person has been buying from my business for 4 years. So I just sent her a message. I was like, hi, my name is Yvonne. I'm texting from Beauty Square. I just wanted to say thank you for supporting my business. Sometimes like someone just feels so happy to be seen. It's those little things. We try to do freebies for our clients from time to time. We have this thing where every quarter we recognize some of our top and long-standing clients, or clients who refer people to us. So people, when they see that they're not just part of a cog that is the revenue of your business, that they actually recognize you as a person.
As a person.
Yeah, it helps, and then they refer people. And now we've started doing these workshops where we are bringing experts from other fields that are not ours, that may be related to skin or even not, and people are appreciating that as well. Yeah.
So community is very important.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've actually learned when you do things. What else? Sage. Said it's a new business
Yeah.
you recently opened.
Yeah.
How was it? Like you said, you mentioned that you paid deposit in October.
Yeah.
You started in March.
Yeah.
Why the delay, or was it intentional, or
No. I wanted to start paying rent from the revenues of the business, not my pocket. I think first there was a delay in terms of just starting the actual work, because I told myself this time, okay, I want to use an interior designer, let them do all the work. My work will just be come and seeing the progress. But things didn't go quite according to plan. We had quite a few delays on the side of construction. Some I feel like could have been avoided, some maybe couldn't have been. So what ended up being happening was our initial launch date was January 25th. That was pushed back to sometime in February. And then it just, at some point I stopped even setting the launch date. I was like, you know what, we'll just open when we open. So I think it was a combination of contractors and like suppliers, and just some other like technical difficulties in the background. Yeah.
and then now you set it up. How was the reception when you finally said we are operational?
Yeah.
How did your community take it?
Yes. It's been interesting. There are some days that are busy, but one thing about me is I set zero expectations. So that when I fail, that's what I expected. So I'm fine with it. Which is not good. So when people were like coming for appointments, actually the first week we had quite a few appointments, and like I just kept feeling like it'll end. Like the customers will end, and now we will just be here looking at each other, and I'll have salaries to pay, and I don't know where the money is going to come from. But then people kept coming and coming and coming back and coming with friends, and it's been validating. It's also been interesting because now it's service as opposed to product, because with product things are different than with service.
Yeah.
So turnover with product is higher than with service. With service it's different because it's not really necessary. I mean, a sunscreen is also not like necessary, like a life necessity, but like people have adjusted more to the fact that you need a skincare routine. Now with services and the type of services we offer, there's still a bit, not as many people are consuming it. So it takes a bit more convincing to get someone to come in for a service and not get them to come consistently is another thing. But I'd say the reception has been there and there's been some growth. So I always say as long as I can afford to pay today's bills, we're fine. Tomorrow we'll worry about tomorrow. Yeah.
Interesting. You've said there's always that fear of failing.
Yeah.
When you're in business, there's this thing we always talk about, that in business, it's sort of like a gamble. You wake up tomorrow and you expect someone will just show up on your door.
Yeah.
How has that been for you, like throughout the years, that every day you wake up and honestly you just assume someone is going to come today?
Yeah.
So, and it goes back to like you have bills to pay, you have employees to take care of. How has that been for you, especially when business is not good? How do you keep your team motivated? Yeah, I know.
I tend to have a positive mindset aside from expecting failure. I try when things are not going well. Like there are days where we'll have no bookings at Sage, like none. It's just us and the crickets.
The vibes.
Exactly. But I try to remind myself of the bigger picture, and also again, as long as we can pay today's bills, we're fine. And tomorrow,
Tomorrow we'll take care of.
yeah, thank goodness I've never gotten to the point where I cannot pay my rent. I've gotten extremely close, but thankfully God has always provided, and there's always been, a way. Yeah.
And then how important is or how do you ensure that your team also get the vision that you have and
Yeah.
all of you are on the same page and yeah, just keeping the vision alive. How do you do that
Yeah.
with your team?
I think it's a continuing journey. Let me say that, because I think sometimes as a founder, you assume the things in your head are in everybody's head. But I'm learning to communicate some things a lot more often. But I think also when you are present in the business, some things just are felt and become a culture. So before I had my son, I used to go into BT Square almost every day, like 4 to 5 times in a week, basically. So I feel like the staff saw how I interacted with clients. They saw just generally how I am. So I think then they come to understand that a lot better. But then now being forced to step away from the day-to-day of the business is forcing me to learn how to package and teach them that aspect of the mission and the vision. Because you assume they know because you know, but then they don't always know. So I try to communicate the standard. And now I'm really trying to work on leadership and leading well. Yeah.
And how important is a good team to you? Because I understand at some point you had issues with your
Yeah.
team. So how important is it to have like a good, honest team?
Yeah. 100%. Like the people who run the business, if they were not there, I'd have to be there at 9, clean the shop and attend to everyone and then go home. So they're literally the backbone of the business. They're what allowed the business to run without me actively having to do everything myself. It's okay. At every point, I've always felt like I have a good team. There've been a few bad apples here and there, but for the most part, I think I have been blessed with people who are, as passionate or good at skin and what they do. Yeah, there have been some hiccups along the road, to the word honest. But the good and the bad part is I didn't see it coming. So, yeah.
And how do you get from that situation, or how do you feel in that moment that when the hiccup, like you said, are here, how is the feeling? Or how did you feel at that time?
Yeah, I felt really betrayed, very betrayed. Like you start to question everything. Like, is the sky really blue? Like, because if this person is stealing from me, I've really been deceived. I never really got a lot of closure around that situation. It just ended really weirdly. But trusting people again has been hard. But then also I just learned to always have checks and balances and not completely trust everyone. Initially it was pretty bad. Like I would stay late every single day and double check my books to the shilling. So if you say we have sold 10,000 in M-Pesa, I have 9,999. Where's my 1 shilling? These are the products that we sold. I'm missing one piece. But then also you notice it creates a really strenuous environment for the team. So I kind of learned to let go a little bit, but still have checks and balances to make sure that, okay, like I know how things are running mostly. Yeah. But then you also come to recognize with time, like the bigger your business gets, the harder it is to try and be at every single area to make sure that nobody is stealing from you. And I just say, God protect my business. Me, I'll focus on, try and also focus on these other things that I have to do. Because I could decide, okay, I'm sitting in the shop every single day, I'm supervising everyone, I'm counting all of my coins. But then when will I get time to do everything else? Yeah.
Interesting.
But also good systems are really important. That's
So
one thing I didn't have at the time. Yeah.
now you have systems that you can.
Yeah.
Okay. So if 10-year-old Yvonne,
Mm-hmm.
or if you had a chance to talk to 10-year-old Yvonne, what would you tell her?
You will go where you don't think you will, but it'll be fine. I'm trying to think what I wanted to be when I was 10. I think an engineer, a nuclear engineer.
Really?
Yeah, because someone told me to
When you
make a
were
lot of
10?
money. Yeah.
Okay.
It was my dad's friend, and he was telling me all about nuclear weapons. And I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, that sounds so cool. I want to say I'm a nuclear engineer. So, yeah.
So you kept that all the way?
No, it was a phase. Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted to ask. Like, did you ever envision yourself in this industry, or one thing led to
To
another?
an extent, I think, like towards my later high school years, I was kind of really interested in marketing. And even when I went to uni, that's kind of what I wanted to do. So I guess I kind of practiced that a bit to an extent, like in my businesses and in my content creation. I apply some elements of that, but I never thought I would be doing this. No. Yeah.
And now that you're doing it, do you feel like you're in the right place? Like this is where you're meant to be, or do you have dreams of chasing another career or pursuing something different?
Yeah. Honestly, lately I've been feeling an itch to like just wake up and do something completely different with my life. Like wake up and start farming. Definitely. I don't believe in permanence. Like because I'm doing this now, like I have to do it until I'm 80 or until I'm dead. So I'm definitely interested in exploring other things. I have interest in other fields, other industries. Actually, before I moved back, I had this dream to start like a hub. How do I explain it? Like a marketing hub, but for like small businesses. So basically, it's you come to this house or room or office, and we can help you with your social media marketing from like actually shooting. So there's like videographers there and everything, to social media managers who can help you with figuring out how to schedule the content, post the content, marketing strategies. It's like everything marketing, but for small businesses under one roof. That was one business I wanted to start. I don't think I still want to do that now, but I'm definitely passionate about that element, like the marketing aspects. So maybe consulting. I don't know. Yeah.
But you do classes for social media.
Yes. I have done some social media marketing classes. Yeah.
And how is that?
It's a lot of work. As much as you're teaching for 1 day, 2 days, it's very intense because I have a very hands-on approach to teaching. So when I teach my classes, there's a lot of actual practicals and practicing the things. So it's a lot. I don't know how it would feel doing it, like if that's the only thing I was doing. Yeah, but I enjoy actually, like I was watching, maybe before I used to watch your content for your business, and now I'm watching it after the class and I'm seeing you're actually applying what I taught you. Or I have friends who I teach certain nuggets about social media and how to try and maximize making money online and their reach and converting. And then, they message me and tell me this has made a difference, or telling me how their revenues have been affected. It's very fulfilling also. Yeah.
So when you started doing all these things, and I love the fact that you're doing so many things at once. At what point did it ever click for you that I'm actually doing this and it's working?
Oh, the many things.
The many things, or even Beauty Square, like
Oh.
it's at what point did you realize that I chose this path and somehow it's making sense?
Yeah. I think for me the biggest indicator is being able to pay the bills. So when I moved out of my parents' house, and now Beauty Square is, funding my life entirely. Moving Beauty Square into like a big girl store, I was like, wow. Actually, when I was getting that store, I used to be so delusional. I need to go back to being like that. Because at the time, honestly, I can't really say that we could afford it. Like it was a lot of rent for us then. So moving in with just the belief that, you know what, we'll figure it out. And if we don't, we won't die. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so I think that's when then it clicked. Okay, yeah. And then now the team keeps growing, and I'm just like, whoa, like if you had told me a few years ago I'd have this many employees, I'd just be like, doing what? But now I'm just like, okay, we need one more person for this, for this, for this. So the fact that business can be able to, pay these people salaries, yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, let's talk about motherhood. First child?
Yes.
How is it? How is motherhood for you? Has it changed the way you think, the way
Yeah.
you act? How has it been?
Yeah, definitely.
How old is your son?
13 months.
13 months.
Yeah.
That's
So we
one
just turned
year,
1.
1 month.
Yeah. It changes everything. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, maybe I can just be a farmer. And
This is
I'm
the
home.
second time you're talking about farming. Are you seriously considering it?
I secretly dream of being a farmer too.
Okay.
And just be home mostly with my son. Because like sometimes I'll have a day where I'm mostly home. And I'm like, wow, I wish this could be my life every day. Or I think about how he's going to school soon, and I would love to be able to just drop him off and pick him up every single day. And when I pick him up, I'm just coming home to hang out with him. So it's changed my priorities a lot. Because now I'm trying to think about, okay, if I was ever to venture and do something else, I want it to be more time forgiving. Like I want to be able to spend more time at home with my son. Like family is feeling more important. And definitely it's a lot of responsibility, because you realize, okay, I'm responsible for how this human being turns out. Like if he becomes a serial killer somewhere will say his mother did not do a good job.
You know?
But also it's very fulfilling. You notice some things just don't matter. Yeah, but also he definitely pushes me to work hard. Because I'm like, I want to be able to afford all the things you want in life. Yeah, it definitely changed a lot of things. I was very much workaholic. Some people will say I still am. Like I could comfortably come home at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. most days, and to me I was like, this is okay. But I feel like after I had my son, I'm like, okay, I need to spend less time working. Yeah.
How was the pregnancy journey for you?
Ooh. It was not planned, so like it was a roller coaster of emotions. I remember when I found out, I called my cousin crying, and I was just like, "What about the 10-year plan? Like this is not in the 10-year plan." It definitely was not in my plans, and to be honest, I don't know that it would have happened if it was up to me. Yeah, but it was definitely a blessing. Because I guess it gives you like a purpose and a meaning to life. It's like, what used to give me meaning before? Because now I'm co-parenting, and when he's not with me, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, what did I used to do before? Like, life feels really empty. Yeah,
So you said you're co-parenting.
yeah,
Like, sometimes you don't have your son with you.
yeah, yeah.
Is that difficult? Because I have a son and I don't think I can stay away from him.
It's not often, because majority of the time he's with me, but definitely it's not. It's difficult. The first night it feels nice, because like, okay,
You can breathe.
I can breathe. I can watch TV in the living room. I can do something without being interrupted. Because now he's at an age where if you're eating, he wants to
know
eat what you're
what's...
eating. He has to see what is on your plate. If you're on your phone, everything, he just has to be involved. So having like a bit of me space, it feels nice. Then after 24 hours, it's just like, okay. Yeah, I feel like my life has no purpose. Yeah,
So, being a new, you said it changed you.
yeah,
And now you have a new perspective of life.
yeah.
As a mom, what would you say you'd want your son to be different from what you're doing now or what you've done?
It's a good question. I think maybe be more fearless. I think, yeah, I've been delusional, but I've held back from certain things because of maybe fear or fear of perception. So be more delusional, because I hold back from a lot of things because I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, or that feels like it's reserved for certain people only.
And at what point did you realize, like, my business is actually big? Like, I need to take it seriously? Because you see, at times maybe we start
Yeah.
businesses. Like for me, I'd speak for myself. I started because I needed money. I needed to eat. It was just like, I wasn't thinking that it would come a time that I have to have systems, that I'd even have to have more than 3 employees. You see?
Yeah.
So at what point for you did you like, I really need to take it seriously and have systems in place
Yeah.
and actually even taking your hiring process more seriously?
I think once we hit certain revenues, yeah, I was just like, okay. I know it's the first month, it's like, okay, maybe that was by mistake, which was a fluke. And then the second month and the third month, you're like, okay, now we have to put on bigger panties. Yeah. I definitely had a season when I was a bit depressed. But I think my customers kept me going because like I knew, this client is still going to come tomorrow. They're still going to want to buy products. So whatever is happening in my business is none of their business. Like it's not a factor in their mind. For them, they're still expecting they'll come and they'll buy their skincare from us. So we have to keep showing up.
Yeah. What personal values have helped you build Beauty Square and Sage?
I think being determined. I'm pretty determined. Like when I decide I want something, I want it. That and a passion for, let me not say excellence, but trying to do things well. Because I've acknowledged where there are people, there cannot be perfection. I've accepted that. But you can strive. You can strive to do your best and you can strive to do well. So I think those 2 factors, yeah. Well, ask a question, okay. How old is your little one?
He's good.
How old is he? How old?
He is 9 months now. He actually recently turned 9.
Yeah.
Yes, very cheeky. He's crawling very fast. So you cannot just like look aside for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He's either destroying something or hurting himself. So yeah.
Also, how has that transition of motherhood, how has it impacted your business?
I'd say pregnancy, first of all, I was talking to someone about pregnancy.
Yeah.
It slows you down.
Yeah.
It slows you down in the sense that, like when I was pregnant, I was just tired all the time. Like I wake up and I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I'm not able to be productive like I was before. Yes, and pregnancy is not easy. Nobody tells us that.
It's literally a miracle.
I know, it's so hard. It's just, I don't even know what to say about it, but it's not the easiest journey. Like they always tell you, it's beautiful. Before you find the beauty, you will suffer.
Yeah.
You will suffer first and then find beauty later. But like you said, at the end of the journey, it's fulfilling. Every day when you wake up and there's someone looking up to you, they depend on you, like they just don't know anything without you. So I think that keeps me going.
Have you been forced to make adjustments? Obviously, because you had to go on maternity leave, but there's certain things that you used to handle that now you are forced to offload. Did you have to make any hires because of the pregnancy and knowing that you'd have to be away for this amount of time? And did you actually take maternity leave?
Yes, I did. But I did not have to hire. Towards the end, because I worked until the last trimester. So towards the last trimester, I sort of like put systems and I was like, I started detaching pole, not away from the business, like I'd come and delegate most of the things. So I sit back and watch. However, it's not the same when you're not here because there's some clients that just specifically want me to handle them. So it was a bit tough, but I'd say the systems and also I'd say I have a good team. They handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even by the time I was coming back, I don't think I'd already delegated those things. So I was so used to not doing them anyway.
Okay. Definitely pregnancy also forced me to sit down because I was very much a person who felt like, okay, if I want this thing done a specific way, I have to do it. I think pregnancy forced me to be like, okay, things can happen without me. Actually,
Yes,
can
and
happen better without me.
You look at it and
Yeah.
you're like, even if it's not okay, I'd say, at least they tried.
Yeah.
It will be better next time.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Thank you. Can this also be a glueless unit?
Yes, we can make it glueless.
Like
At
it
the
will
moment?
sit like this.
No, the thing about glueless, unless
Yeah.
maybe you're doing a closure
Yeah.
closure sits better. But when you're
Wait,
doing
what's
a
this?
frontal,
This
this
is
is
a
a frontal.
frontal.
Yeah, to
So
yeah.
what's a closure?
A closure is just
Oh,
like the
the
lace
one
is
you have.
yes.
Ah.
So the parting is only here in the middle.
Oh.
What do you think about this cut?
I really like it.
Is it something you'd pick?
No.
It's
But it's nice. It's like if I knew this is how it would look, I wish there's a way to preview how it would look once it's installed. But yeah, I really like it. I hope I can maintain it the next few days. Yeah.
It's easier to maintain because it's short. The thing
Yeah.
about a bob,
Yeah.
this is just a tip, a pro tip I'm giving you. If you're
Yeah.
picking a bob,
Yeah.
try and pick something that does not sit on your shoulder, because the movement of your shoulder tends
Yeah.
to make the wig curl outward.
Oh.
You've seen someone with a bob and their wig is curling outward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you have a very long neck.
Yeah.
If your neck is short, always do something that just sits above your
Yeah.
shoulders.
So how should I put it up to sleep tonight?
See this part?
Uh-huh.
Put it back.
Uh-huh.
What do you sleep in? A bonnet or a
Yeah,
scarf?
a bonnet.
But a scarf is better, so that
Yeah.
you can tie your scarf hapa
Yeah.
mbele to
So I'll
maintain
tie the, I think, oh, you give me
band.
that band, and then I usually do a scarf and then a bonnet.
Yes, that's perfect. But then
Yeah.
you push this towards the back so that
Yeah.
at least in the morning you maintain this. Very good. Let me remove this.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi.
What's one word that describes your entrepreneurship journey?
Where?
Beauty square in one word.
I'll hyphenate it. Thoughtful expertise.
Sage skin in one word.
Home. Home. Yeah.
Your proudest moment so far.
My son coming to Sage and just like being so interested in everything. Opening our new location, the Lavington branch for Beauty Square, and Sage as well.
A personal value you never compromise.
Authenticity.
How do you bounce back after a bad day?
Binge eating or stress eating. Watching Friends, because that always makes me laugh. Spending time with my son and cuddling him, and crying is also very helpful. Putting in my earpods and dancing to my favorite song, and then a good night's sleep.
Okay, now that we're speaking about Friends, your favorite character of the show?
I love Rachel, but also I love Joey. I love how he acts. Like, he acts dumb so well. Yeah, but also Phoebe is so unhinged. Like, she just says whatever she thinks. I wish I was Phoebe, yeah.
Now that we're talking about dancing, can you like try pull off like a move? Can
No.
you dance? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing you look for when building a team?
This might sound like old school, but like my gut, like how I feel about the person is also a really big determinant for me. You have to feel like a warm person. Yeah,
Social media, love it or hate it?
love it.
One key to building online authority?
Saying that you're the authority.
One online growth hack you swear by?
Engagement, talk to your audience, not at them.
Finish this sentence. Authenticity means?
Showing up as who you are in that moment. So you don't always have to be polished, you don't always have to be put together. Sometimes you can just show up falling apart, and that helps people see that you're multidimensional.
Creative fail for you is?
I don't know, everyday life. I draw inspiration just from going about my everyday. I'm also TikTok and watching TV. I get a lot of ideas, content ideas from TV.
Your current read?
I'm actually listening to a book called The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. It's very juicy, yeah.
Interesting. A tool you can't live without for content creation?
A phone. Yeah.
Boldest decision you've made thus far?
I guess getting our new location. Yeah.
Your favorite Bible character and why?
Bible character.
Yes.
Jesus.
Why? Why him?
Because of how he was able to carry himself, like how he would say, I am the Son of God, I am all these things, despite what everyone else thought or did or said about, you know, the things he was doing and how he was preaching. He believed in himself and he didn't care what everyone else thought.
Your favorite mantra right now?
Let it all work out.
Oh, that's beautiful. Any final words for Beyond the Seat?
Yes, life is a unique journey, and I feel especially social media can make you feel like it has to go a certain way, but trust in the steps that God is putting in front of you.
Amen to that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.